You are welcome to FUNNYMATH page. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about polygons. So let's begin. These are the formulas that you're supposed to know. In fact, you have to know these formulas before we can, answer questions efficiently under polygons. Now let's begin. As the sum of the interior angles of any polygon has this formula n minus 2 times 180 degrees. So n here represents the number of sides of that particular polygon. So when a polygon is a triangle, that means it's going to have 3 sides. So in that case, the sum is going to be 3 minus 2 times 180 degrees. And 3 minus 2 is going to be 1. So 1 times 180, and that will give us, 180 degrees. So the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So when n is, let's say, 5, that is a pentagon, we just replace this n with 5 and do the calculation. Now, the next formula that you're supposed to know is the interior angle of a regular polygon. A regular polygon is a polygon that has equal sides. In fact, the sides are congruent, meaning they are the same. So when that happens, the interior angles are also going to be the same. So we can use this formula to find the interior angle of a regular polygon. That is the sum of that particular polygon divided by the number of sides. That will give you each of the interior angles. So you have to know this formula too. Now let's come to the exterior angles of a polygon. Now, the sum of the exterior angles of any polygon is 360 degrees. This one, it is regardless of the sides. It doesn't matter if the side is, 3, 4, 5, or any other side. The sum of the exterior angles is going to be 360 degrees. So in the case of regular polygons, the exterior angle, in fact, each of the exterior angle is going to be the sum out of n. So like the interior angles. So if it is a regular polygon, then the exterior angle is going to be the sum, which is 360 degrees out of n, as the number of sides of the polygon. Now let me throw more light on the exterior angle of a polygon. Now let's use this triangle here. Now obviously we can see that these are the interior angles, so they can easily be identified, but we can't see the exterior angles at the moment. If you want to see the exterior angles, you have to extend the vertices. So I can extend this vertex, and that of here I can extend this vertex, and that of this, let me get it here. Yeah, so that is how we can extend the vertices. And the moment you extend the vertices, we are getting exterior angles here. So these are the exterior angles. These are the exterior angles. Now this is what you're supposed to know. So anytime we take an exterior angle and its corresponding interior angle, you can see that they form angles on a straight line. So assuming this angle is A and that of here is B, you can say that A plus B is equal to 180 degrees. The reason is that they are angles on a straight line. If here is, let's say, E and that of here being F, so we can say that E plus F is equal to 180 degrees. The same thing applies to this one. Let's take here to be M and here to be N. Then equally, M plus N is equal to 180 degrees. So we can establish the fact that an exterior angle and its corresponding interior angle is equal to 180 degrees because they form a straight line angle. You have to take notice of this property because it's going to be useful in most of the questions that we meet. So let's get our first question here, and that is the sum of the interior angles of a regular polygon is 900 degrees. We have to find the number of sides of the polygon. So for this particular question, the sum has been given. So this is the formula that we're going to use. We have the sum. I'm just writing sum. So that's going to be sum of interior angles is equal to n minus 2 times 180 degrees. Now in this case, the sum of the interior angles has been given to be 900. So I just have to write 900 degrees to replace the sum. That is equal to this. This part can be expanded. This is a coefficient, so we can just multiply by the terms in the bracket. So 180 times n, and that will give me 180 n. So negative 2 times 180 will give me negative 360. So this is what we have. We can simply take negative 360 to this side so that we can find the value of n. So that's going to be 900 plus 360 equal to 180 n. So when you add, and that will give us 1260, and that is equal to 180 n. So what do? We have to divide both sides by 180. So here too by 180. So we just do cancellations. Now this 0 can cancel this 0. So we have 126 divided by 18. That will give you 7. So 18 here, it will go into this one 7 times. So that means that n is equal to 7. So this polygon has 7 sides, and that's going to be heptagon. Heptagon has 7 sides. So that's the name of this polygon. Let's take our next question. That's a polygon that we're supposed to find the value of x. Now let's make some analysis here. First of all, we have to know the number of sides of this polygon, and we have 6 sides. You can check. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 sides, meaning this polygon is a hexagon. Now we have to find the value of x, and now we can see that x is mostly part of the exterior angles. So that means we have to use the exterior angle property to find the value of x. Now we have 2x here, we have 3x here, we have x. We have about 3 exterior angles containing the variable x. So we have to use the exterior angle property to find the value of x here. Now with the interior angles, we have only 2 of them. That is 130 and that of 135. Now the question is, we are supposed to get 6 exterior angles, but 4 have been given. We have 1, 2, 3, and that of 4. We have 4. The remaining 2 are these. This exterior angle and that of this. The question is, how do we get those exterior angles? That is not a problem. You should remember that the interior angle and its exterior angle, they sum up to 180 degrees. So if you want to find this angle, we just have to subtract 130 from 180 because their sum should be equal to 180 degrees. So simply, here is going to be 50 degrees, and that of here subtract 135 from 180. We're going to get 45 degrees here. So these are the angles that we're going to get here. Now the exterior angle property that we're going to use is that the sum of the exterior angles should give me 360 degrees. So this implies that 2x, I'm taking it in the clockwise direction so that I don't mess up any angle. We have 2x plus 50 plus 3x plus x plus 45 plus 40 should give me 360 degrees. Remember, all angles are measured in degrees here. Now let's check whether we've written everything. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So everything is entered. At this point, we can collect like terms. 2x, 3x, and that of x, they are like terms. So we're going to get 2x plus 3x plus x. Now, with the numbers, you have 50 plus 45 plus 40, and that should equal to 260 degrees. 2x plus 3x will give us 5x now plus x. That's going to be 6x. Let's add the numbers. 50 plus 45 plus 90, we're going to get 135 here, and that is equal to 460 degrees. So at this point, we can subtract 135 from both sides, or simply we take 135 to the side. So you're going to get 6x equal to 460 minus 135. Now when subtract, we have 6x equal to 225 degrees. So at this point, we just divide here by 6, here 2 by 6. So 6 will do away with this one, but unfortunately, 6 cannot go into this, so you just have to divide. Divide by 6, you're going to get 37.5. So x is equal to 37.5 degrees. So that's the value of x. Let's get our next question. What is the sum of the interior angles of a 10-sided polygon? So that is a polygon with 10 sides. Now we have to find the sum of interior angles. So I have to use this formula, that is the sum of interior angles, that the sum is equal to n minus 2 times 180 degrees. Now in this case, n, remember, n is the number of sides of the polygon. The polygon has 10 sides. So in place of n, I just have to write 10. So that's going to be 10 minus 2 times 180 degrees. Now 10 minus 2 can be simplified. and it can be simplified to 8 times 180 degrees. Now, simply 8 times 180 will give you 1440 degrees. So easily we have been able to work this particular question. That's the sum of the interior angles of a 10-sided polygon, which is a decagon. Let's get our next question underway. So to find the z value of x, and that's the polygon. I mean, that's a heptagon. It has 5 sides. Let's confirm that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 sides here. And how do we find the value of x? Since we have all the angles given, we can use the sum of the interior angles property to find the value of x. So let's get it straight here. The sum of the interior angles of a polygon with 5 sides. So we are going to get n minus 2 times 180 degrees, where n is equal to 5. That's the number of sides. So we have 5 minus 2 times 180 degrees. So 5 minus 2 will give us 3 times 180 degrees. When you multiply, you're going to get 540 degrees. So that's the sum of the interior angles of pentagon. So now that we know that the sum of the interior angles to be 540, it means the sum of these angles should give us 540 degrees. So let's get it here. So this implies that 3x plus x plus 4x plus 70 plus 2x should give me 540 degrees. Remember, all angles are measured in degrees. Now we can calculate like terms. Some of the terms are containing the variable. So this, and that, they are all like terms. So that's going to be 3x plus x plus 4x plus 2x. So these are the like terms. Now plus 70 now equal to 540 degrees. So at this point, we have to simplify the like terms. 3x plus x is going to give us 4x plus 4x. That would be 8x plus 2x. That's going to be 10x. So we have 10x plus 70 equal to 540 degrees. So what do? We subtract 70 from both sides, or simply we take 70 to this side. So we're going to get 10x equal to 540 minus 70. Now when you subtract, you're going to get 10x equal to 470. So to find the value of x, we just have to divide both sides by 10. So here 2 by 10. So 10 will just cancel 10. And 0 will just erase this 0. So this implies that x is equal to 47 degrees. So that is how we can find the value of x. Let's get our next question here. Each interior angle of a regular polygon is 140 degrees. How many sides does it have? So this time we're going to make use of the interior angle formula for regular polygons. And the formula is this. Interior angle is equal to, the sum, that is n minus 2 times 180 degrees all over n. So that is the formula that we're going to use here. Now let's make substitutions. The interior angle was given in the question to be 140. In place of this interior angle, I just have to, write 140 here, and that is equal to the whole of this one, n minus 2 times 180 all over n. So that is what we have. So at this point, what do? This is an equation. We have to find the value of n. So now we have to get rid of this fraction by multiplying this whole equation by the LCM, and the LCM is going to be n. That's the only denominator that we have here. So that's going to be the LCM. So now let's multiply by the terms of this equation. So that will give me 140 times n, and it is equal to n times n minus 2 times 180 all over n. Remember, I've just multiplied the whole of this by n. So let's move on. So at this point, 140 times n will give me 140n, and that is equal to this n can do away with this n. That is the reason why we multiply the LCM by this, so that it can do away with this fraction. So now we have been able to achieve our goal. We have n minus 2 times 180. So what do we do next? We have to expand to remove the bracket. So we have 140 on this side equal to 180 times n will give me 180n. Now 180 times -2 give me minus 360. So this is what we have. This is, a simple equation. You can just make, and the subject by taking, next 360 to this side, and then we bring this one here. So let's do that right now. So we're going to get 360 equal to 180 n minus 140 n. And let's simplify. So we are going to get 360 equal to 180 minus 140 will give me 40 n. So I just have to divide here by 40, here to by 40. So they will just cancel out, 40 goes into 40, and now this 0 can cancel this 0. So you have 36 out of 4. When you divide 36 by 4, what are you going to get? You're going to get 9. So this implies that n is equal to, 9. That is 9 sides. Let's get our next question. That's an interesting question. The interior angle of a regular polygon is twice its exterior angle. We have to find the interior angle of the polygon, that's A, and that of B, the number of sides. Now, let's analyze the question very well. The interior angle is twice its exterior angle. That means to get the interior angle, you have to know the exterior angle first. So for example, if the exterior angle is, let's say, 50, the interior angle is going to be twice, that is, 50 times 2, and that will give us 100. So the unfortunate thing is that we don't know the exterior angle. So how do we get the interior angle? We have to, use algebra in this case. You should let a letter stand for the exterior angle. So we can say, let x equal to the exterior angle. And since the exterior angle is x, now we can easily find the interior angle. That is twice the exterior angle. Twice means 2 times. So the interior angle is going to be 2x. That is 2x is equal to the interior angle. So now we have both the exterior angle and the interior angles. And the question is, how do we find the value of x? We have to connect these two angles. By using this property, you should remember that the exterior angle and its interior angle sum up to 180 degrees. You should remember this property. So this means that x plus 2x should give me 180 degrees. Remember, they sum up to 180 because they form, straight line angles. So at this point, x plus 2x will easily give me 3x, and that is equal to 180 degrees. So I have to divide here by 3, here to by 3. So 3 goes into SF1, it goes here 1. Now 3 goes into SF1, it goes into 180, 60. So that means x is equal to 60 degrees. But we are not done. The question is, we have to find the interior angle. That is A. But x is the exterior angle. So that means we have to find the interior angle. But now that we know the exterior angle, the interior angle, so therefore, the interior angle is equal to, 60 times 2. Remember, it is twice the exterior angle. And that will give me 120 degrees. So that's the value of the interior angle. So let's go ahead and find, the next question, that is B, the number of sides of the polygon. Now that we know the interior angle to be 120 from the A, we can go ahead and find the number of sides of the polygon. Remember, this polygon is a regular polygon. So that's why I'm going to use here. Remember, the interior angle of a regular polygon is equal to, it has this formula, n minus 2 times 180 degrees, all divided by n. So this formula should be at the tip of your fingers. So we know the interior angle to be 120. So that's going to be 120 degrees is equal to, n minus 2 times 180, all divided by n. So this is what we are supposed to get. So this becomes a simple equation. So you can just do away with the fraction by multiplying through by the LCM. The LCM is going to be n. That's the only denominator we have here. So this one. So that's going to be the LCM. So you have to multiply through by the terms. So we have 120 times n equal to n, multiplying the whole of this. So that's going to be n minus 2 times 180, all divided by n. So we've done the multiplication. Now, at this point, we have to do cancellations. N can cancel this n. So n, we'll just do away with this n. So we have 120 n equal to n minus 2 times 180, So we can expand to remove the brackets on the right hand side. So we have 120 n equal to, let's expand to remove the bracket. So 180 times n will give us 180 n. Now 180 times negative 2 will give us negative 460. So this is what we have. So at this point, we can just take, 460 to the side, and then we bring this one here. So that's going to be something like this. We bring this one here, and 120 also comes here to make the calculation easier and simpler. So we're going to get 460, it will become positive. So we have 180 n minus 120 n. So you have 460 equal to, when you subtract 120 from 180, that's going to give us 60 n. So at this point, we just have to divide here by 60, here to by 60. So 60 will just do away with 60, and now 60 goes into 460 6 times. So that means n is equal to 6. So we have 6 sides, and this is hexagon. Here, our next question, the interior angles of a quadrilateral are x degrees, 2x plus 5, x plus 15, 3x minus 10. These are the interior angles. Remember, a quadrilateral has 4 sides. So that is why we also have 4 interior angles. That's the connection between the number of sides and the number of interior angles. Now, the question is, which property are we going to use here to find the value of x? Obviously, I'm going to use the sum of the interior angles of a polygon. So first of all, let's get the sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral. And that's going to be sum. Simply, the sum is going to be n minus 2 times 180 degrees. So you're going to get, in this case, n is going to be 4. So 4 minus 2 times 180 degrees. 4 minus 2 is going to be 2 times 180 degrees. So that will give me 460 degrees. So that means the sum of the interior angles is going to be 360 degrees. Now the question is, how do we find the value of x? How do we know the sum of the interior angles? So since the sum of the interior angles is 360 degrees, we can just add these angles and we then equate it to 360 degrees. So let me just get that one here. So this implies that x plus, these are binomials, so I have to keep them in bracket. 2x plus 5, now plus the next angle is going to be x plus 15 plus, we have 3x minus 10. And remember, we are supposed to get 460 degrees. So this is how we can set up the equation. Now we have to get rid of the brackets. We have coefficients of 1, 1, multiplying the contents in the bracket. So easily we're going to get x plus 2x, plus 5, plus x plus 15, plus 3x minus 10 equal to 460 degrees. So you have to collect like terms. So x, 2x, x, 3x, they are like terms. So that's going to be this x plus 2x plus another x plus 3x. Now we are done with the terms containing the variable. We can take the whole numbers. 5x, 5, 15, negative 10. So we're going to get 5, 15, and that of negative 10. So plus 5 plus 15 minus 10 equal to 360 degrees. So at this point, we have to simplify. X plus 2x will give us 3x plus x, 4x plus 3x. That's going to be 7x. So you have 7x for the letters. Now let's come to the 15 plus 5. That's going to be 20 minus 10. We have 10. So you have plus 10 here, and that is equal to 460 degrees. So at this point, we have to take 10 to this side, or we subtract 10 from both sides. So that's going to be 7x equal to 460 minus 10. And that's going to be 7x, which simplifies to 350. So we have to divide here by 7, here 2 by 7. So 7 will just do away with 7. Now we have x. 7 can go into 35, 5 times. So that means we're going to get 50. So this implies that x is equal to, 50 degrees. So that is how we can find the value of x. So let's get our next question. The exterior angle of a regular polygon is 40 degrees. Find the sum of its interior angles. So the exterior angle has been given to be 40 degrees. Remember, the polygon is a regular polygon. Oh yeah, so we have 40 degrees for the exterior angle. So you have 40 degrees here, and that is a regular polygon. Now, before we find the sum of its interior angles, we have to do something first. Remember, the sum of the interior angles of any polygon is equal to n minus 2 times 180 degrees, where n is the number of sides. But we don't know n, so we can just go ahead and find the sum of its interior angles here. So first of all, we have to find the value of n before we can find the sum of its interior angles of this regular polygon. So how do we find the sum of its interior angles? This is where you have to, get the right formula to help you. The exterior angle of this regular polygon has been given, so we can use the exterior angle for regular polygons here. That is equal to this. Exterior angle is equal to the sum of the exterior angles, that is 460 degrees, divided by the number of sides of the polygon. Now, in this case, the exterior angle has been given to be 40 degrees. So in place of the exterior angle, I'm just going to write 40 degrees. And that is equal to 460 degrees out of n. So this equation can help me find the value of n. And how do we do that? We can just do cross multiplication. Or you multiply 2 by the LCM, and the LCM is n. Any of the methods can be used here. So I want to do cross multiplication. Remember, this is 40 out of 1. So now n times 40, we're going to get 40n. And that is equal to 1 times 460. So I'm going to get 40n equal to 460 times 1. We're going to get the same thing. So you have to divide here by 40, here to by 40 degrees. So now the 40 will just cancel the 40. And now we have 0 will just cancel 0 here. Now 4 goes into ACF1, it goes into 36 9 times. So this implies that n is equal to 9. So that means this polygon is a nonagon. So n is equal to 9. Remember, we have to find the sum of its interior angles. So now that we have n, we can simply find the sum of its interior angles using this formula. So I'm going to get that here. So this implies that the sum of, I'm just making a sum, is equal to n minus 2 times 180 degrees. So I'm going to get n is now 9 minus 2 times 180 degrees. 9 minus 2 is 7 times 180 degrees. So when you do this simple multiplication, you're going to get 1,260 degrees. So that's the sum of the interior angles of this regular polygon.